Isn't Cheryl good at that? Yeah, she's very good at that. Good morning, everyone. We're going to start a new practice today, and hopefully it will become a tradition. And it's we're going to have chalice lighters, somebody from the congregation to come up and help us start off the prayer in the morning and light the chalice for us. So our first chalice lighter is Darren Duncan. And Darren is from Nashville. He is an executive chef for the Savannah School District. And as you know, he is building his own business and has provided beautiful arrangements and food for us on a couple of occasions. He is a member of the Greens and Grounds Committee. He's been a member for 2 years, and the thing that he says he enjoys most about being here at UUCL is he enjoys the people, because the people here are so peaceful and helpful and friendly to one another. So I'm going to let Darren step up and light the chalice.
Good morning. Would everybody please stand with me as we light the chalice? That didn't work out for me. We come from different homes, different pasts, different worries and hopes, but we come to the same space for the same reason, to remember that we do not have to carry this life alone. Here, we are to flourish together by choosing again and again to show up for one another. Welcome. Let us worship together.
And as we spend this time, may we begin to calm our hearts and calm our spirits as we gather in this place, putting to work the words we've just said. So let's just take a minute to breathe. Thank you. Different homes, different paths, different worries, different hopes. But we come to the same space for the same reason, to show up one more time for one another here in this place. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist congregation of the Low Country, the opportunity that we have to gather here to encourage each other and to be built up. And for those of you that are new here, those of you who are visiting with us, you should know that you have found your way into one of the warmest, most welcoming communities that I know exists, and these people continue to attest to that. I would like to ask those of you who are first or second time visitors, if you would please take the yellow cards that you'll find in front of you, fill them out, and when the plate passes, that's the only thing you have to put in the plate, just that. Let it pass this time. Next time we'll talk. So, if you would, those of you that are first or second time visitors on my right, if you would be willing to stand and introduce yourself. And in the center section, first or second time visitors. And on my left, your right, first or second time visitors. So we need to be inviting people. Welcome, though. We are here for this purpose, to be able to find strength and encouragement with each other. I want to thank Rosemary Staples for the pictures that she presented. They were showing earlier today. Very peaceful. Thank you for that. And for Brian putting that together on a Sunday by Sunday basis. Very, very nice. Last night's storytelling was really special. We had probably 35 people that were here, all telling stories that may or may not have been true. And that was a part of the joy that we had in our time together. Just a couple hours of really good fellowship. So it'll happen again in a couple more months. And you guys will know that as time gets close. In your announcements, you'll see that our June theme is flourishing. And there's a quote from Robin Wall Kimmerer from her book. It's either The Serviceberry or it's Braiding Sweetgrass. But she writes, all flourishing is mutual. What happens to one happens to us all. We can starve together or feast together. I see a feast here every Sunday morning. And we sit down and we dine in the delight of each other's company and each other's journey. You'll also see the book club that's announced as well, too. Take the opportunity to read through that. Happy Pride Month as we focus on that and the LGBTQ community. You're invited to come meet our banned books. You can find them in the library over there. They've been banned, so it's okay to go by and pick them up. You'll also see on your insert that in October on the 17th, Rod McDonald will be in performance. Mark that on your calendar and come and be a part of that. I think that's what I need to say. Is there anything left unannounced before we continue on? It is my deep pleasure and joy to invite Pat Jobe here to our pulpit again. Everyone here knows that Pat and I have discovered that we are brothers of another mother and that we share an awful lot in common. And it's one of the things we do share is a deep love and respect for each other. So with that, I'm going to ask Pat to come and give us opening words. Pat, if you would, please.
I really do love Charlie, but I love all y'all too. Thank you. Thank you. I have 3 sets of opening words this morning. The first is from the woman who wrote the Harry Potter books, and there's some debate over how to pronounce her name, so I decided not to use it. She did real well. She said, we do not need magic to change the world. We all have the power within us. But then Tom Robbins, in his novel, Even Cowgirls Get the Blues, said, great book, by the way, I recommend it highly, said, feel sorry for somebody who doesn't believe in magic. They have to end up believing in something like business or government. And the third offering is from me. This is from a book that was published 20 some odd years ago. It's called The Return of Radio Free Bubba. There are copies for sale in the lobby. I've discovered a secret religion here in our sacred Southland. My revealing its practice will not affect it because no one will admit it's a religion. If you confront one of them directly, even in the midst of their practice, they'll look at you like you're crazy. The secret is sealed. So don't let on you know. Just practice their religion with them. Or not. It's that kind of religion. It's practiced by people who hold yard sales by the side of the road. The basic ideas of the religion are that God loves everybody and nobody is really screwing up all that badly. The intricacies and codes of the religion are literally countless, but scholars of this faith can read many of these codes in the piles of clothing, old toys, broken lawnmowers, even the shapes formed by the shades of the trees under which these sales are held. Let me give you an example. You stop your car, you walk up to a woman in ill-fitting clothes, like me, missing a few teeth, and you say to her, "How you doing?" From that greeting, she hears the secret unpronounceable name. You are saying the Buddha himself was not more beautiful than you. Your ill-fitting garb, your teeth, your tattoo, all of it hides the beauty of your soul, the power of your heart, your ability to spread glory in every moment. She says back, "Fine, how you?" The code translate, your infinite soul shines from every pore of your skin. All that is holy is manifested in your balding, beer-bellied body. And the seriousness with which you gaze upon the discarded clothing of my children and my chipped coffee mugs. And of course, the items in the yard sale are all sacred. A chipped coffee mug with blue flowers painted on the side symbolizes the determination of God to penetrate our hearts with love, great dancing, and steaming strong drinks. "How much you want for that mug?" you ask her. And the code is deep emotional healing comes with every breath. Mental health and world peace lie one step from here. Come, let us step together. "A dime," she says flatly. But the flat tones of her voice are the highly trained chants of a yard sale priestess. Her message is, the steps are simple and the way is clear. Let us be one in breaking down walls and healing our hearts into the one heart. You look at her, confident that the two of you are on a cosmic seesaw together. She is enraptured to hear you ask, "Would you take a nickel?"
And that's why I love Pat Jobe. Darren, thank you for coming up here and this tricky little thing we did to make the candle go out just as you were trying to light the chalice. You recovered well. Well done. You'll get more opportunities. If you would, please take your hymnals into your hands. Turn with me, if you will, to hymn number 123. And may we stand and sing together, Spirit of Life.
Where's everybody else? Spirit of life, come unto me, sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
So remain standing, if you would, please. That had no life in it at all. It just seemed almost anemic. So may we sing that one more time with a great deal more life. John, if you would, please.
Of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stories of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea. Move in the hand, giving life, shame of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Thank you. Better, yes? Thank you.
And now is the time in our service when we give of ourselves to sustain our community. For those of you who have brought thank you. I was going to say perishables, non-perishables, for the food banks. If you would please leave them on the back table there, we would be very appreciative. We will also now take a collection for those things that will sustain our church, sustain our congregation, and help us to do the good works that we do. Your generosity is appreciated. Thank you for your generosity. And I've been asked to make this announcement. Today in the Clara Barton Conference Room, Patricia Friedman, our co-chair of the Finance Committee, will be available to answer any questions regarding a member's remaining balance on their pledge for our fiscal 25-26 year, which ends on June 30th. Thank you. Again, thank you for your generosity.
During this sacred time where we share our joys and share our sorrows, would ask that you would be able to know and understand the significance of what we do here when we share these intimate parts of our lives, whether it's something that breaks our heart or something that makes our heart sing, that we would be able to take that seriously. When you take the stone, as I've said before, hold it in your hand, in the palm of your hand, and in a way symbolic to you and your joy, symbolic to you and your concern. Place it inside that stone in a way that's unique for you, and leave it here that we too may carry it together. Cheryl?
And now it's time for our sacred garage sale. Because during this time, as Charlie explained, we share what we have together. And if you'll come forward and tell us your name and explain your joy or your concern, and then place the stone in the cairn. No announcements and no political statements, please.
I'd like to say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers in the group, all the grandfathers in the group, and there may be a great-grandfather in the group. Who knows? But I also want to apologize for my daughter calling me twice at the beginning of the service to wish me Happy Father's Day. Probably disturbed George and Betsy more than anybody, but isn't it great having kids? My name's Mike Nicholson, by the way. Reverse order.
Many of you know us, Joanne and Steve, and we are moving to Hilton Head. So thank you all the Sun City people who have been driving us around. Now we're going to count on our Hilton Head friends to bring us to church. Couldn't move away from there. We're going to Indigo Pines. And we're moving on the 30th, and it's all happening very fast, but we're very excited.
You're always welcome to visit
Good morning. My name is Kathy, and I have two joys. One is that I woke up on the right side of the dirt this morning, so I'm happy for that. The other is, Charlie had mentioned it about these banned books, and this is sort of an announcement, and I'm sorry, but it's the joy of reading, so I'm coming in under that umbrella. But South Carolina is I think we lead the nation in banned books in our public schools. So SCUJA, the South Carolina Unitarian Universalist Justice Alliance, has provided 10 Unitarian churches with the 22 banned books. And they are out on the table on the right. Please take them, read them, and you can return them. And it's just make use of them. So don't let them get us. Yeah.
Good morning. Well, Mary and I are back from our Greek-Turkish adventure. We took a cruise, and there are a lot of stories that we would like to share, so please ask us. I don't want to get into all of them, but I will get into at least two of them. I missed my flight leaving. Forgot my passport at home. So that was the first thing. The second thing is I saved Mary from white slavery, and she has to tell you that story herself.
Hello, my name is Dick, and I have 3 joys to share. The first one is that I remember my name as I can't find my name card. The second is that I want to thank Charlie and I want to thank Pat for what they said today. You know, Charlie asked for anybody who's here for the first time on his right side, the middle, or the left. And I want you to know that I realized from both of their messages that actually every time I come here, I'm here for the first time. And I want to thank all of you for that feeling, for that sense of connection, that presence that goes beyond words. It's a spirit. And my third joy, I like being touched. My third joy is that I am a grandfather and I am a father, both of the same person. Barb and I adopted our granddaughter at the age of 14 months, and she's now almost 22. And she's coming to see me right after this service. So thank you.
Could you spare a little of the hair?
Actually, one time I gave it away.
This is for Ed and Julia and all who are suffering Alzheimer's and dementia.
And in the language of the yard sale, I'm Bill. And that's my brother Pat. And we're so proud and excited about the participation we had in the storytelling. I believe that storytelling is one of the most powerful tools we have. Is if you know another person's true story, it's hard to hate them, it's hard to hurt them. Thank you.
Am I close enough? I'm usually not. Now? Okay. I have a joy and a sorrow. My first sorrow is that we had to miss Mary Lenny's party yesterday because if you live in Bluffton and ever took 278 to the island on a Saturday afternoon in the summer, I'd take you 5 hours. So we apologize for not being there. Yeah, right. Any other day of the week. My joy is, you might have noticed that I'm walking on my own. Yeah. I went to physical therapy 3 times thinking it was my balance. And part of it probably is, I mean, as you get as old as I am, we all have balance problems. But I finally figured out, and it was helpful from someone at physical therapy, that this might be a head issue. It was. One day I put my walker away, but I had to have my cane because that was my safety net. And then I put the cane away, and I actually walked someplace, walked into the therapy session, and they're all cheering for me. And so I did a little dance step for them, you know. I still have some work to do, like going up and down curbs is difficult for me, but I just feel like a free person again because I couldn't go anywhere. So anyway, thank you all, because I know a lot of you noticed that I'm now walking, it's like being a grown-up again, not a 3-year-old. Thank you.
want to share a great sorrow. I have twin granddaughters. On their birthday, April the 26th, my only truck. This is the greatest sorrow I could imagine in my life. I covet your prayers for those granddaughters and myself.
Yes.
I'll take 2 stones for those prayers, for those joys and concerns that are unspoken. And I'll also put a stone in the vase for those families and children that are affected by gun violence. And now, if you'll join me in the affirmation. The number is 562. A lifelong sharing. Love cannot remain by itself. It has no meaning. Love has to be put into action, and that action is service. About disabled, or poor. It is not how much love we do. We put into the doing a lifelong sharing of love with others. And that's written by Mother Teresa. Thank you.
It's now my pleasure to welcome Pat back into the pulpit. Any man that can take the sacred holy yard sale is just fabulous in my book. So Pat, if you would, please.
Several folks asked me last night if I was going to sing this song. I think I've done it at least 4 or 5 times here, always on Father's Day. And I realize that Father's Day is not absolutely wonderful for everybody. Not everybody had a perfectly wonderful, affirming, engaging father. My brother Bill and I did not. He was the greatest guy in the world to everybody else. But he did not understand that one of the dynamics of fatherhood is to get to know your children and to engage with them in a give and take way. We were always his audience. We were always his lawn crew, but we rarely ever had him ask us what we thought or felt about anything. And into our 70s now, we still bear a lot of resentment for his failures. My hope is that if he reincarnates, he'll get it right next time. I got sent home from school one day with a shiner on my eye. Fighting was against the rules and it didn't matter why. When Dad got home, I told that story just like I'd rehearsed. I got down on my bended knees, ready for the worst. He said, "Let me tell you a secret about a father's love. A secret that my daddy said was just between us." He said, "Daddies don't just love their children every now and then. It's a love without end, amen." When I became a father in the spring of '81, it soon was clear that stubborn boy was just like my father's son. When I thought my patience had been tested to the end, I took my father's secret and I passed it on to him. I said, "Let me tell you a secret about a father's love. The secret that my daddy said was just between us. I said, daddies don't just love their children every now and then. It's a love without end, amen. Last night I dreamed I died and stood outside those pearly gates, when suddenly I realized there must be some mistake. If they know half the things I've done, they'll never let me in. Then somewhere on the other side, I heard these words again. Let me tell you a secret about a father's love, a secret that my daddy said was just between us. They said, daddies don't just love their children every now and then. It's a love without end, amen. I've been working on this book for 8 years. It's not out there on the table because it hadn't been published yet. I'll gladly share the computer file with you if you want to read it. Wonderful, amazing, delightful Beth Rodners has read it and did some great editorial work on it. Where is she? Where are you, Beth? Beth, would you stand for just a moment, please? She's not going to stand. Please, stand up. Stand up. Beth does so much for this congregation, and she and Kim and Charlie were instrumental in making last night such a success, and we're very grateful. Now, I'm going to sum this book up for you today. We've got 19 minutes. I'm going to sum it up in less than those 19 minutes because we've also got a hymn at the end. Closing words. And after I sum it up for you, you are going to be convinced that I am a phenomenal, extraordinary weirdo. And I'm not talking about just your regular, everyday weirdo. I'm talking about like an Elvis Presley weirdo. So here goes. There is no word for God. This was an ancient belief of the Hebrews and probably other religions too. In fact, there are scholars of ancient languages who believed that people did not even use language the way we use it today. Today, when we put a word on something, we believe that word and that thing are the same thing. Like tree. We look out the window, we can see a tree. We believe that T-R-E-E is what that thing is. But in ancient languages like Aramaic, which was the language of Jesus, a tree was more like something in motion, both physically and through time. I know it's a little hard to think about, but imagine if you can, that you and I were looking at a tree, and instead of calling it a tree, we made sounds that indicated the tree had only been there for a few years. And it wasn't always that big. And someday it might be hit by lightning or blown over in a storm. And there might even be seeds come off that tree that would make more trees. That would be the noise we would make as we talked about that tree. That would be our language, motion, both in time and physically. Apparently, at least according to some scholars, that's the way people talked in the ancient world. Their language was more fluid, more full of motion, and a sense of time passing. Here's another example. They would not greet each other with, "Hi, nice to see you." They would make noises with their voices that sounded more like this. "I know you. We've been friends for a long time. I even know your parents, your family, even some of your animals in the house you live in. And I pray to the unnamable oneness that we may always know each other and honor each other in all we do." That's the way they talk to each other, at least according to some scholars. Okay, now here's another trick of the imagination. Try to listen to one of these ancient people Maybe even this poor guy Jesus, who's been so misunderstood, politicized, manipulated, and twisted in today's media circus. So imagine Jesus, not the one who gets pulverized today, but the one who actually walked around in ancient Palestine, and he's trying to talk about that which cannot be talked about. You all remember 2 months ago when Charlie and I twinned, we talked about the fact that what we're talking about is something that can't be talked about, which might be a little bit alarming. So Jesus is trying to talk about what is ultimate. And one of the things he calls it, according to the Aramaic language, is breathing light of all existence. Breathe that for a moment. Breathing light of all existence. That's where we live. That's what's going on inside of us. We are the breathing light of all existence. What people call God is not separate. It's part of us, and we are part of it. It's not written in stone, but it's more hinted at in the wind, the light, and the motion caused by the wind when it tickles the leaves in the trees. We cannot see where it comes from. We cannot see where it goes. But we know when the leaves are dancing that it's there. The breathing light of all existence. In the book that Beth Rodner's read and did such a beautiful, beautiful job of editing, she asked me at several points if I wanted to kill her, and I told her absolutely not. Everything she suggested was wonderful. In that book, I once called it Ineffable Oneness. But then another buddy of mine read it, and he said, how many people do you think you can stop on the street who know what ineffable means? And so I decided to change it to Unnamable Oneness. What we are dealing with in the wind, in the light, in our own breath is unnamable oneness, an indivisible oneness. Are we having fun yet? Thank you. Bless you. Got a really nice nod over here in the corner. You see, Unitarian Universalism really is a religion. Don't doubt that for a second. But it is a big tent religion. We take in anybody who can fog a mirror. We even take in weirdos. We had a trans woman join our congregation in Greenville, and another woman left because she said she didn't want to go to church with weirdos. And I thought, I wonder if she has any mirrors in her home. I once made the terrible mistake here in this pulpit of saying we would not welcome somebody wearing a swastika and carrying a King James Bible. And I got schooled after the service. I was told we certainly would welcome a person wearing a swastika, carrying a King James Bible, if they were willing to be in conversation with us, if they were willing to listen to us and let us hear them. Let us hear their deepest story so that we won't hate them anymore. I do need to apologize right here and now for making that mistake. So I wrote this book, which is available to any of you who want to give me your email address. I'll send you the computer file. It's full of all kinds of spirit stories. Stories about all kinds of weird stuff that happened to me and other people that say to me that maybe there really is an unnamable oneness in the world that loves us and calls us to love each other. The force acts like a spirit, maybe even the spirit of Christmas. Now, I know some of you don't believe in Santa Claus. And I understand all the objections. I've heard all the objections. No, honey, there ain't no little fat guy in a red suit who flies all around the world in a single night taking toys to all the children. Just ain't so. Mine and my brother's mother said to us when the question came up, when you stop believing, he stops coming. That sealed the deal. I have never stopped believing. He has never stopped coming. Besides, many of you know Einstein said that time and space could be bent in his general theory of relativity. So now convince me that a sleigh can't be carried by 8 tiny reindeer. Bend a little time, bend a little space, get down tonight. So just exactly what is unnamable oneness? Well, it's not exactly anything. It is most ennobling, most humanizing, most encouraging when we can embrace it as everything. It is that push from our conscience that says when something is wrong, we should not do it. When something is right, we should do it. And trust me, I have done enough wrong in my life. A law school professor once asked his class the difference between fornication and adultery. And one of the students in the back of the room said, "Prof, I've tried them both and I can't tell the difference." Unnamable oneness calls us out of the jungle of duality. Oneness is the very zen of yin and yang. It recognizes that both poles of a magnet are necessary. This is so hard for us to get our heads around these days when we live in a country where the government has become a dictatorship. This is really challenging for us. Really challenging for us. We have loaded people onto trucks and locked them in concentration camps. Mitch McConnell of all people, who twice passed up the opportunity to vote guilty during Donald Trump's impeachment trials. Mitch McConnell says, this is Germany 1938. We are loading people onto trucks and putting them in concentration camps. But as we grieve and protest and organize for the midterms, we cannot surrender our shared humanity. Unnamable oneness calls us to remember that even the men who killed Renee Good and Alex Preddy were human beings. They have not earned the cruelty they handed out. They have not earned the cruelty they handed out. Gandhi said, "An eye for an eye, and soon the whole world is blind." Unnamable oneness calls us to remember our shared humanity because as horrible as things are here and across the world, we cannot sink into the chaos of street justice or vigilante vengeance, as appealing as they might be. As the other side ignores the rule of law, we must hold to it the more closely. Because our religious traditions, the grounded women and men who gave birth to Unitarian Universalism, have always believed in the rule of law, even as they worked to change it. They would never have sanctioned the violence that would burn down the villains and leave civilization in ashes. So I wrote this book. It claims some sort of magical, mysterious proofs for the existence of something beyond the physical world. Something that might send a sleigh laden with gifts flying through the air, drawn by 8 tiny reindeer. I know. Some of you don't believe in Santa Claus. It's okay. We're Unitarians. We take all kinds. But I am so grateful that Bill Jobe's mama and my mama convinced us that there is a Santa Claus. Because when you stop believing, he stops coming. So we keep on believing. When my most recent ex-wife was a little girl, she and her mother were briefly homeless. They wandered the streets of Columbia, South Carolina, knocking on doors, asking that someone would take them in. They found someone who had a tiny attic room and 2 small single beds. When Christmas Eve came, her mother explained that there would be no toys from Santa the next morning. But she awoke in the night and saw a red pant leg with white fur and a black boot going out the window of that attic room. Time was bent. Space was bent. Santa Claus came. And the next morning there was a brand new doll on the bedside table beside her bed. The bending of time and space, according to Einstein's theory of general relativity, has gone on and on for my most recent ex-wife. After our divorce, my first wife organized a family gathering. All 6 of our children and many of their spouses and some of their parents and grandchildren gathered at a house on Lake Norman to play board games and cars and eat from heaping plates of food, many of which were prepared by my brother and his wife. My most recent ex-wife looked around at that crowd and said, "Well, I always wanted a big family. I never dreamed I'd get one this way." Somebody bent time. Somebody bent space. And there we were, all together. The book is about 150 pages. And if you'll give me your email address, I'll send you an online copy. If you have a particularly scientific mind and bristle at talk of such time-bending, space-bending events, I recommend you read somebody else's book. But before you dismiss Einstein and Santa and me, I would simply ask you to consider that physicists have proved beyond the shadow of a doubt that subatomic particles can be thousands of miles apart and yet respond in exactly the same way to outside forces. I don't know their position on reindeer.
If you would please take your hymnals out, turn with me, if you will, to hymn number 100. And may we stand and sing, "I've Got Peace Like a River."
I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul.
Thank you. You may be seated.
Okay.
So, only Pat Jobe can weave a story like Pat does, write like Pat does, invite us into the sacred and the holiness like Pat Jobe does, and gift us with his presence like Pat Jobe does. You are delivered by Santa Claus today, Pat Jobe. Your closing words, please.
I need you all to help me with closing words. I need you all to help me with closing words. They come from Mel Torme and Bob Wells. They wrote a song in 1945, and I think most of you will at least know the last two lines of the song, so let's sing them together. Every mother's child is going to spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering this simple phrase for kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you.
I guess I'll do this. Please stand and join me in extinguishing the chalice. While we extinguish the flame, we still carry in our hearts the light of truth, the warmth of community, and the fire of commitment until we are together again.